what can I do you for?
It's Halloween, bitch ass.
Isn't it a little early to be trick-or-treating?
The demons don't come out this early.
You know what they say? Early bird gets the worms. Open warfare.
What the fuck is this?
Well, this year, instead of giving away inexpensive candy and to one-up my neighbors, I'm giving away inexpensive DS games, so basically the entire library, in order to show the youth of today a big part of Nintendo's history.
You're lame, old man.
Oh, my mistake. I meant to give you brats for your bratty ass. And oop.
I'm out of here.
Man, when I look at this, I think definitely not the successor to the Game Boy. Hell no. Nintendo used to be on the rocks, and I mean every console was do or die. Following the below average sales of the GameCube, the president of Nintendo literally stressed this in a statement that can only be translated from Japanese as, "If Nintendo DS succeeds, then we will rise to heaven. But if it fails, we will sink to hell." Welcome to hell. I'll take your code and give you a complimentary copy of Nintendogs. Who gave the green light to put 5,000 employee jobs on the line over a glorified leapfrog? The reason the GameCube did so lukewarm is because you put half the damn stock in McDonald's, where half of the consumer base coated the controllers with their germs and the other half contracted influenza. The Nintendo DS first launched in North America and Japan in November and then December of 2004. Weirdly enough, Nintendo thought it best to push the console out to the market before Black Friday and then later in Japan, but I mean, I don't even understand that. I'm Canadian. We have Thanksgiving in October. It had a few growing pains, as we all do, and just couldn't find its footing at the start. Who was this thing for? Yeah, you had your Marios, but then you also had Brain Age and the game that's jumping off the store shelves. Merry Christmas, Grandma. The DS's start was very weird. I mean, one of their first slogans was,
What is it, Knocktober?
Stop with the breathing, sir. This is a very serious matter. There's been a DS-wielding maniac on the loose, and we are stopping all DS-related activity.
This can end right now. If you just let me go, pretend you didn't see anything, and take this Lego back. Dodged a bullet there. But is it any surprise this little console is causing such a stir? After all, it was one of Nintendo's biggest consoles of any generation, especially for a portable one.
The Nintendo DS was announced at E3 2004, and the DS was not apparently about the dual screens, but
DS, Developer's System.
Reggie stood on the E3 stage as a power top. You have to understand, he pulled this thing out of his coat pocket, and that sold the console more than any words he could have spoken.
Wi-Fi means you can connect via the net.
What? Think of the times, a 3D Metroid on a portable console with 2 screens. The DS was aimed to be something different developers could bring their own ideas to. It was the first little sprinkle into Nintendo's Blue Ocean strategy. Before the DS, you kind of have to remember that gaming wasn't that available to everybody. Most of those consumers were kind of just in your Guitar Hero camp, picking up games on Christmas until a week later where they collected dust. But this is the first gaming company that actually succeeded with casual markets. It isn't easy. I know gamers always pick on casual markets, but if you're actually in the industry, getting them to pick up a damn game is near impossible. Sure, you have a phone in your pocket now, but you want to be the guy that says they own Super Mario 64 DS? No! The DS changed the game of handhelds, offering a ton of unique ways to organize games with menus and UI. Not to mention the avalanche of other features such as a staple touchscreen. Then local wireless and online
You can connect via the net,
which Nintendo consoles didn't even have at the time. Then obviously the dual screen feature, which isn't the acronym for DS, might I remind you, and a microphone for blowing! Blow!
Now, a lot of the DS's library had the same fate as loose change, basically collecting dust in the catacombs of your couch that I eventually give to homeless people.
Trick or treat.
Ooh, smell your feet, Jesus!
I'm homeless.
And I'm Alax. Love the costume, kiddo. Really nailing the smell in the coffin.
Listen, buddy, do you have any change?
Specific, but I'll give you the best of both worlds. Hannah Montana for the DS and a coin for your troubles.
Muchos gracias, senor.
Don't spend it all in one place, alright, buddy?
This is chocolate.
Keep the change. That kid reeked. But you know what else reeked? The first design of the DS.
Talk about soggy cereal. This thing looks like it was supposed to be a prototype. Well, luckily for me, I began with the sleek white DS Lite and spotted behind the Walmart glass the soupiest of Marios. After I nearly beat the game, my infant brother sat on my DS Lite and then it became a DS Flat. Then fast forward to when he could use his opposable thumbs and he got an official Iron Man 2 DS. I'm shaking. But right from playing a Mario game, you can understand the efficacy of adding an additional screen for gameplay. For Mario, it clears up the top screen so you can see whatever you're murdering, while moving all of your UI junks such as your score and the power-up in stock to the bottom screen, but not the time, oddly enough. I guess it's for the anxious people that had to ease us in somehow. Of course, New Soup was the best-selling game on this thing, but the library was...
Hi, I'm Jeff Foxworthy, and welcome to
There were no shortage of games on this thing. It's like a best-selling console synonymous with a console with Napoleon Dynamite on it. I mean, I'm not in need of a coffee table today, so I guess I can talk about a few of these games. Firstly, Grandma's favorite, with the legend himself, Dr. Kawashima. Brain Age utilized the bottom screen and the top screen to write answers to test questions. Being one of the few games and consoles to have a unique orientation of their game, reading it sort of like a book, answering questions like you're marking down answers. Now apparently every grandma owned this thing and played this specific game on public transit. Grandmas in the comments, can you confirm? But sometimes you're just hungry for more. We're talking about Cooking Mama, utilizing the stylus to let players partake in themed games that all aim to create a recipe. This is the extent of my cooking skills. But for dessert, why not try some common sense training? Yes, there was a lot of these sort of training games, but this was a top 50 bestseller. God, maybe common sense isn't so common anymore because I can't find this game on store shelves.
Man, and I haven't even gone into all the killer apps. I mean, this thing was amazing. You could play it in bed, catch a few winks, and play Winx Club for the DS. I mean, this is where I did play most of my library, Game Boy Advance, DS, or otherwise. It was amazing. I mean, scared of the monsters under your bed? You playing Monster House?
I'm obviously scratching the surface here, but this little bastard was a unit. It really was the innovator that turned Nintendo to a new audience. And now look at where we are with the Nintendo Switch. Now I guess you can say that even the DK Bongos inspired this thing, but the DS was one of the first big steps in making a powerful portable console for console-level gaming. Seeing a 3D Mario on this thing was probably like the moon landing. And the best feature of all, Pictochat! Oh, Pictochat was amazing. It was a fun little thing. It's sort of like the MSN of video game consoles that very quickly became outdated when new technology arose.
Of course, you had to be in a certain proximity for this feature to even work. It was something like 65 feet. I know, very limited for this time period, but this was the coolest thing back in the day to share messages with your friends. Was this you? We must be in the proximity of a Pictochat's range. But who could it be?
This just in. A single neighborhood reports another sighting of the Pictochat Prowler. The Prowler had in hand a Nintendo DS Lite and a copy of My Spanish Coach. Truly frightening, or should I say, muy aterrador? Next up, why I'm gonna be fired.
The Pictochat Prowler! I never predicted I'd possibly be in a perplexing predicament presented to me on a primitive platter on a pre-November proceeding! Piss. Yeah, and he had a DS Lite. I mean, those things were incredible.
The DS had its share of revisions, but probably the most important was the DS Lite, releasing in November of...
Okay, sorry, what are we gonna do? Why can't you do it? But that's all the way downstairs. I'm about to head out, but I can't make a peep. I gotta be sneaking around, Phantom Thief style. Luckily for lighting, I can use the enhanced DS Lite LCD screen in order to brighten my way.
So you're sneaking down for a midnight snack, you scumbag. Well, there's no Pictochat Prowler. It's probably just a prank by some prepubescent punk. So, Cat, there's no problem. You can come down. Oh yeah. Trash. Outside. In the dark. Done and done. I can't believe I was afraid of a little trash. I mean, I handle it on a weekly basis already as is, but whatever. We talked about the DS a lot today and showed many of the cool features it has, so I hope you learned a thing or two. This has been Alax. I hope you enjoyed your time on this spooky Halloween, and whoa! What the? Oh, my personal.
There's been a DS wielding maniac.
And a copy of my Spanish.
Muchas gracias.
What did I say?
Muy aterrador. You! Me! What?
You slimy sock-stuffing son of a bitch!
What is your problem? You broke into my house, you broke into my fucking house. What's your problem?
You give me no choice, okay? I was broke as shit, and you give me chocolate coins. You give me chocolate coins. What do you have to say for yourself?
Happy Halloween.
To attract you down, to try and get my revenge.
Trust me.
Don't leave my home, you fucking idiot. You cock! You mocked me. I used to be into games. Now, well, then I was into the stock market. Are you eating my only food?
You know they just give this shit out, right?
They just keep.
That's it! Keep the change. Oh, I forgot you have no fucking money.
What is this contraption?
Why, you never heard of DS games?
I thought they only made games for the home console.
Oh, so in Animal Crossing, you get to live in a home and get this. You can pay it off too.
It's literally a dream come true.
And because you didn't murder me, I'm gonna let you have this one. On the house. On my house.
You're letting me keep it?
Of course. I mean, it's the time of giving, and I really think that you deserve.
This just in. Turns out the Pictochat Prowler was a hoax. Next up we have a Shrek DSi worth $1 billion, and how I got my job back with not one, but 2 baby carrots.
You know, like a 2DS, a 3DS. That's literally 3 times the DS, alright? Hey, come on. Hey, whoa, stop, I have a question! Why do you need a DS if you already have one?
What do you mean?
Well, how were you sending me those Pictochats?
I didn't send you a Pictochat. What? I don't even know what that is. I haven't had a DS before now. Who took a Picto shit?
Happy Halloween, idiots! I'm still a ghost!